This programme consists of a series of short video clips for use on the interactive whiteboard. Each clip presents a different scientific topic. A year group is suggested for each clip. There are 7 lesson starts in total, and they can all be found on the Teachers TV website. Can you work out where the drinkable water came from?
The bear, slate 1, take 1.
Action! It's taken me days to track the bear this far. I'm not gonna lose her now. She's out there somewhere. I can smell her. As I stand here, I swear I can hear those big, heavy footfalls. Stuart! Oh, come on. We talked about this. I know. Remember? It needs to sound like heavy footfalls. Like there's a big bear approaching. Mandolin, it's too high. Is there any way we can make it lower?
All right, I'll play the same thing again, but this time I'll play it on a slightly longer string instrument.
Yeah.
And I'll play it on the guitar.
Take 2.
She's out there somewhere. I can smell her. Standing here, I swear I can hear those big, heavy footfalls moving through the undergrowth. We're definitely getting there, Stuart. It's closer. Still, though, it's a little bit too high.
Okay, I'll play the same thing, but on a longer stringed instrument, like the bass. Even longer strings, even lower sound.
Lower.
Lower.
Low.
Low.
Good.
Take 3.
She's out there somewhere. I can smell her. Standing here, I swear I can hear those big, heavy footfalls moving through the undergrowth.
How can you make higher or lower pitched sounds on the guitar?
I'm a fox, and round these parts I'm top of the food chain. There ain't no one round here that eats me. I like to spend my days trying to catch tasty hedgehogs for my dinner.
hedgehog. I spend my days watching out for pesky foxes trying to eat me. If I get the chance, I like to nibble on some yummy caterpillars, if I can snuffle them out.
I'm a caterpillar. I know my place. Creeping around in the undergrowth trying to avoid those dreadful hedgehogs. When I get the chance, I like to nibble on a few plant leaves. Very tasty, I must say.
I'm a plant. All the other creatures think they're so clever, but I make my food by standing here and soaking up the sun's rays.
I'm leaving to the big city where I will grow into the most beautiful butterfly the world has ever seen. Yuck! Leaves! I'd much rather have a tasty caterpillar.
And now for the main course. Hang on. Where's my hedgehog burger gone?
The other creatures might not be happy, but since that caterpillar left, this plant's had it easy. I'm just going to spread my leaves and catch a few rays. I'm not worried about the break in the food chain.
How has the caterpillar leaving affected each of the others in the chain?
One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Welcome to the race! Our competitors are Sarah in the yellow waterproofs, Sir Not-a-Lot wearing the suit of armour, and the mummy in his bandages. They're under starters' orders, and they're off. The mummy's the first off the line with Sarah hot on his tail. Sir Not-a-Lot's already struggling to keep up in that heavy metal armour. The first two have no problem getting round this tree in their flexible clothing. Lagging behind, Sir Not-a-Lot makes his approach. Oh no, his armour's just too heavy and rigid to compete. The knight's out of the race. Sarah pulls ahead as they approach the water hazard. Those waterproofs keep her nice and dry as she crosses. The mummy's hot on her heels, but those bandages might be a problem. He begins to cross, but yes, it looks like the bandages are absorbing water, weighing him down. This mummy's all washed up. In her waterproof flexible clothing, Sarah's on the home straight. She takes the goal. Why did Sarah's clothing help her win the race?
Friction is an adherence between one substance and another. In this case, what we're looking at is the tyres of the car gaining grip and friction on the road surface.
The wheels are obviously made of rubber. The reason we use rubber for tyres is we get a lot of friction. We've got what's called tread on the tyres. If we have a wet surface, it increases friction, it increases the grip.
With water, what you're doing is you're introducing an element between the two surfaces, which would lessen the friction. The water molecules keeps the two sides apart, therefore you get less friction.
What other road conditions might cause a loss of friction between the tyres and the road? Every one of us is surrounded by billions of living creatures too small for us to see. Some of them may help us. Some of them may harm us. These are microorganisms. In the fridge, no one can hear you scream. Although you might not want to eat this, there are other situations where microorganisms are key to producing the food we eat.
So this is our yeast that we get every week. It is actually a living organism. Yeast needs food, warmth and moisture so that it can then reproduce. And then what that does is it lets off carbon dioxide. For yeast to grow, you need moisture or liquid, which is the water, a food, which is sugar, and also warmth. So that dough is perfect. See all the bubbles in there? That's the carbon dioxide pushing up through. So the yeast will still keep working and working until it spills over the edge of the tin or the tray. So you want to stop that process. So we put it in the oven. So the yeast will be dead and you'll have a lovely loaf.
Microorganisms are absolutely essential in terms of making cheese. The microorganisms convert the lactose in the milk into lactic acid. So the milk becomes the consistency of a natural yogurt. We then put it into these moulds. At this stage, the microorganism has multiplied throughout the cheese. It then starts reacting with other organisms and enzymes and proteins within the cheese to develop the flavour of the cheese. When you come to eat the cheese, you still have development going on. So if you kept that cheese for longer, you would develop different flavours, which proves it's still alive.
What is the link between the way we make compost and the way we make yoghurt?
I'm using a traditional English type longbow, the sort Robin Hood would have used, but a bit more modern. And you hold it like that in your hand, and you put the arrow on the string. I'll tip the bow so that you can see.
Just as the string and bow work together, so the muscles in Sheena's body move her bones, allowing her to fire arrows at the target.
In the upper body, you're using your arm muscles, you're using your shoulder muscles because you actually hold the bow at full draw on your shoulder muscles.
Her muscles work in pairs in order to move her arm up and down. To raise the arm, one muscle contracts while the other relaxes. Then they swap roles in order to lower it. Where else have you got pairs of muscles like this in your body? What do they do?